Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex here, and today we're taking a look at the DC Icon Series number 11, Aquaman. And I want to give you guys a little 360 of him. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Aquaman, but this guy's pretty awesome, and I'm glad I can add him to my collection. You can see he's got these little fins back here on the calves, also here at the gloves or forearm here, so they're kind of like gauntlets. And this is done really well as far as the top portion here. It's not just painted on that way to look like that, or kind of tamper glass. It's actually that texture, so you can feel the scales also here in the shoulders and stuff like that. So really cool. I do like that. Everything else is just kind of plain. I think that's one of the things that I never really liked about Aquaman, but or he wasn't that appealing to me. I just thought his suit was kind of stupid looking, but this makes sense, with the scales and stuff. I like the way they did that. The kind of fins and stuff, that looks good. We'll get into his accessories here in a moment, but as far as the face sculpt goes and paint, if that'll focus, that looks really good. I like the blue eyes. Everything looks dead on. You can see a little bit of paint there for the lips, and the blonde hair is not just a regular, just kind of blonde looking color. There's actually a little bit of kind of brown highlights to kind of break it up a little bit. So hopefully that's coming off on camera for you. But I like that. Looks really good. And we'll get into the accessories right now. So we'll go ahead and take this out. So he does come with two heads, and this is actually two separate pieces here. What I would recommend is switching the head out first, and then putting this piece in here, just because it's kind of fragile. And whenever I first tried to put it in there, it was very tight, so I kind of had to turn it as I was trying to put it in there. And it's something whenever I took the head off earlier and I tried to put this on there, and I kind of felt when I was pushing down that I was moving this. So you don't want to break this off, but it's a cool little effect. Shows that whenever he wants to communicate with the sea animals and stuff like that. So, and again, the paint, everything on the face, and the way they did the hair looks really good. Getting into his hands, you can see that he comes with the kind of DC Icon signature pair of fists. He does come equipped in the package with these. You also get a set of grappling hands, which is pretty cool. And then you get the hands here that are just open so that he can hold the trident with. So, which brings us to this accessory, which pretty nice. You can tell by kind of me moving it. It's not flimsy. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna break this, or like one of these are gonna just break right off for no reason. Pretty good material. I like it, and it looks wicked awesome too. So definitely dig that. All right, getting into the figure here. Just took a look at Superman, and I had an issue with the way there was like a gap where his hips are, or I guess let me just bring them in so you can see what I'm talking about there. Where there's like this huge gap in there. Doesn't seem that Aquaman has it. So I mean, it's a little bit closer up there. It's not as some of the previous waves, but this looks fine to me. So the rest of them, I haven't opened the rest of this wave up yet, but they all look kind of like this. Then maybe it was just a Superman figure that was kind of bad. All right, as far as articulation, the head obviously on a ball joint. He can't really look up because of the hairline right here, which I guess is all right, but can look down and kind of side to side and rotate his head. The shoulders in and out. On Superman, they were really tight, or at least this one was. These, they move just fine. So, or again, everything is on my particular figure. I don't know how yours is going to turn out, but they rotate here. The biceps, they swivel. You get a little more than 90 degrees here. And then the wrist rotates and they go left to right. It looks like, yeah, everything's very nice and clean as far as the scales go. But whenever you get to the forearm part, I can still feel the scales in there, so they're molded in there. But just the paint doesn't look as clean and shiny as the rest of this. You can kind of see what I'm talking about. Focus that in. Yeah, which they didn't have much room to work with, so I guess that makes sense, but I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. The chest, you can get some rotation there. Just kind of, you have to break it in a little bit, but can move front back a little bit there. Then you have this joint where he can move back and forth there as well. The legs all the way out front, and you can, let's see if these will rotate any on the inner part. No, and no thigh cut. The knees, they go about 90 degrees there. And then the feet go back and forth and they rotate as well. So Aquaman, he was one that, you know, I was going to pick up regardless. I'm picking up the entire line. So as long as they keep on making them, I'll keep on buying them. But he was one that I was like, I'm just kind of, you know, I'll get that one just set on the shelf and not even really pay no mind to it because it's Aquaman. But this is a really cool figure. I like it a lot. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.